This is Joe Bunzer.
What up, guys? We're back with some more Mandalorian. Today it's going to be Chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. Bob's with me, and as always, the following podcast contains spoilers.
This is the Bunzarelli Show.
I did the thing where I knew we had to do the show, but I forgot I had to watch the show.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, did he figure that in?
Completely, yeah. Like, because when me and you had the conversation, like Thursday lunch, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going out tonight. So, yeah, Thursday lunch is good.
Yeah.
The thought never crossed my mind, when are you going to watch the show? I never thought of it. So last night, I'm doing, I come home like 9, not too late, but like 9:15-ish with which coming home at 9:15 on the school night, work night,
Yeah.
for me is late. So I come home and I'm doing stuff around the house. I got stuff on my mind. I'm cleaning the kitchen. I'm like, what do I got to do tomorrow? I go, oh yeah, I got to do the episode. I go, oh crap, I got to watch the show. So I'm in the kitchen. I have a lot of dishes to do. I'm leaving town next week. I got that Google Nest.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, I'll watch it while I'm doing dishes. So I say, hey, I can't say the name or else it'll fire it up. I do the voice command. I put Mandalorian on it. I'm watching it for 20 minutes and I'm lost. I'm like, what's wrong? Something's not right. And then I figure it out. It just started the first episode. So I'm like, I was already so late and I was already stressed out.
Why is this suit different?
Worked out. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I says, what suit is this? And so I'm like, who is this? And then he talked and it was him. And I'm like, did I miss him changing suits? But it worked out good because I finished what I was doing in there. And I was like, I want to watch the show on the big screen with the home theater. I don't want to watch it on a little 8-inch monitor.
Yeah.
Or watch it on my phone. Because especially like a sci-fi show. I want to hear the ship or the spaceship fly over me. And, I want to hear the boom when something explodes. It changes the whole thing. It changes the show.
Well, especially this episode.
It kind of worked out.
This episode in particular, too, was a dark one, too, just because of the nature of it. So it would have been like, it would have sucked on your phone. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, I like how it opened up. I like how him flying around with Grogu, it's like, I think this is going to be how it goes for a little bit, which I enjoyed, was how instead of having someone else in there and having the back and forth, and then telling each other what to do and telling the plan, he's just narrating
what he's doing.
He's teaching and training. Yeah, he's saying what he's doing because he's training Grogu to be Mandalorian. So it's cool because he's just explaining all the things he's doing, which for me is great because I forget week to week what's going on a little bit. And it was also cool too because teaching all the Mandalorian stuff to him.
Yeah, and the
What
navigation.
A great way, yeah, what a great way to teach us about that instead of reading stuff off stone all the time. It's like, oh no, he's training the kid.
Yeah.
He could just, and he's just teaching him, and he's like, oh, well, this is the way, and this is how, I know how to navigate around, and this is this. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, I'm liking it. It's setting a really cool tone for this
like,
season.
It's like the Mandalorian version of the Padawan thing going on with him, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's almost better without the back and forth. Instead of it just be, with the jokes and the this or that, it's just like, no, it's just him because, can't remember his name, but the
Grogu.
actor that plays Pedro
Pascal.
Is it Pedro Pascal? Yeah, Pascal. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So him just
he's so
narrating, I could listen, like he could narrate an audiobook would be great. But him just talking to himself basically, just talking to, it's just him talking to Grogu was great. I'm enjoying it, it's keeping me entertained.
It's going to be interesting to see where Grogu goes in the future because he's got that like cool mix of like the Mandalorian and the Jedi. I read something like Dave Filoni, actually he's more hands-on than we thought, but he addressed like his Jedi training, and he said, yeah, if you remember, Luke was only with Obi-Wan for like, a half a day, and then Obi-Wan died. But a lot of those lessons, it was like Luke like keeping up on his training, like the unseen stuff. So Grogu's given a strong foundation with that time he spent with Luke. So he might have ways to like develop that stuff on his own. Plus you got the Mandalorian stuff. It'd just be cool to see like maybe like a future show down the road of like, adult Grogu, and he's like a mix, like a hybrid character.
Yeah, or they'll do like Groot, where they'll do the awkward teenage years, the
Yeah.
teenager one where he's like kind of like gangly and everything.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
oh, I got a question for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Is Grogu in any of like the lore or the books or anything? Or,
No.
Or like, okay, so Grogu was a character made in this show for this show. This is not.
Yeah, his
It's
first.
not like
Yeah.
there's no spoilers out there for Grogu.
No,
Nobody
nothing's
knows
known.
Grogu.
Nothing in a cartoon. Nothing even hinted at. Like I thought they would like hint at something in like there's Bad Batch going on now, or even like when they brought back Clone Wars, but nothing. There's
Yeah.
There's just like the little hint of the Jedi, the Order 66 flashback scene, but this is it. So yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I don't know. I think, but they do show in the trailer that they show more of the flashback. So maybe they're gonna peel back more of the onion of the mystery of what he was doing and who rescued him, kind of deal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, we got your girl back, Pelimoto. He was at
Billy Moda.
he went to Tatooine. We talked about her last week, but once again the actress escaped my name, and I can't find my IMDb ain't working.
Amy Sedaris.
Okay, yeah, keep that open in front of you in case we need it again. It's funny. I had a prediction. I was like, you know what? I think I bet he's gonna, because I remember they showed she was in the trailer too. But I'm like, wait a minute. If he's going there, he's gonna go see Boba Fett. And she even said, she goes, "So you're gonna go see Boba Fett?" He's like, "Nope, gotta bounce." Just totally ghosted Boba Fett. Like, come on, go see him.
Both in the back. Hey, look at all! You see him like waving from the ground as the ship goes away.
Boonta Eve. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's the pod race. That's the pod race that Anakin was in. Because
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's why I was like thinking like, oh, like the way Jabba came out. I was like, well, wait, who's running things now? It's Boba Fett. So I wanted to see the scene of Boba Fett coming out and waving everybody, like to start the
Yeah.
race. Because I was like, wait, Boba's running now. Yeah.
Well, they're hinting at it, so maybe it could still happen.
Yeah, I mean, it could. The next episode, he could go back and get something. He always needs, whenever he needs something fixed, he goes to Pelimoto, so he'll be passing back there. But
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that. And then, so he gets in a jam. He gets that droid that like captures him. That thing was cool looking.
Yeah.
The alien droid, and I was trying to
Yeah.
think. I was like, why does this look? It reminds me of something, like something where this has been used before. And I thought about it. General Grievous. It's like the same idea
Yes.
of like the
Yes,
organic
exactly.
mixed, but it was like a more of a horror version. It was creepy. That was a cool Star
It was-
Wars character.
It was cool, and it was the only other time I've seen where they did that. Yeah, that was the first thing. I caught that right away too. Is the General Grievous thing, where it's like the biological, and it's like you think of it. If technology has gotten that far, why wouldn't it get that far?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the two sort of merge? But what a cool way. Because the only thing what they did with where General Grievous was just like they had him coughing all the time. Like, okay, well, we see he has a heart. You didn't have to make him coughing. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's just silly. I was like, we see the heart. You don't have to like show us that it's not working very well
Yeah.
or whatever. But with this thing, it was just a thing where, yeah, and it was just mean. And it was that was one of those saying how the picture is actually dark. I was having a hard time telling exactly what was going on. But it was that one head was going, did it go back and forth between the little and the big monster? Was that the same animal or was it two different ones?
No, it was the
Remember
same
the head
thing.
crawled out of the one? It
Yeah.
was the same thing.
Whatever it was driving, it was driving. It was like the little thing, the big thing. It was
Okay, it was one
creature.
It was one creature. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. Yeah, that thing was cool. That thing was cool as heck. Oh, and how about so Bo-Katan still sitting on the throne pouting
Yeah.
a week later. Loved Grogu going together. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And then her coming back. So when they're walking, how cool is it when she just pushed little
Yeah.
craft thing? It just like pushed it and it just eat off and he didn't do nothing. He's just like, oh, something's going down.
Yeah,
That
just
was
like
awesome.
quietly. That was awesome. She was good. And I think one of the reasons maybe she was good because like last season we had the hey, here's some more Mandalorians. This is cool. But now that it's settled in, Like even like the big fight at the end before Luke comes and she's with all the other girls doing their invasion of the ship and everything. It's like, hey, look at all this action, but like just her solo in the dark like that. It looked like it really spotlighted her, and it wasn't just about like, hey, another Mandalorian, because we already got used to that. So let her really like shine.
Yeah. The solo part was big because bringing her in with the trio, and you're trying to learn. You're just kind of looking at it as a whole, like, okay, it's this group of characters. It's like, okay, more Mandalorians, but her solo, and we've seen that sword before that she had, but for whatever reason, busting out that black sword, whatever that thing is,
the dark saber.
Like, was that the dark saber? The one that's not the same one that Mandalorian gave her.
Yeah, he dropped it. That's the thing. The thing was stripping all his stuff, so she just picked it up off the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Which is cool because
put it together, but it looked awesome in the dark cave. Her busting out, it was lit up, but it was black.
Yeah,
that was like a real cool effect.
I like too that they're not like making it like, oh, here's my chance to steal this sword, because like she couldn't take it because of the whole like she didn't win it in battle. Like I thought that's where they were going with everything. I'm like, it's kind of for some reason. It's not in her character to just be like, oh, here's my chance to rule Mandalore. But what I do like, and I think the biggest thing that I like that's going on in this episode is like Bo-Katan is from like the real deal Mandalorian, and she's like kind of given up on it. And I think she's really enthralled with the fact that Din Djarin's like, oh, that's a shame. I'm all about it. He just gets in the water, kind of like, look how committed this guy is. And there's like nothing left at his planet. Like, I think it's almost inspiring to her. Whether it's like a friendship or something.
Thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I think she's remembering probably like, like I compare it to like church for people, for real, whatever. But she's remembering her childhood growing up and learning those things. Maybe it's bringing her back to like when it was real to her, and maybe she's seeing like, okay, even though I know that, technically, I know that some of these things are made up, it's still like the values of it. I could, I see and I respect and appreciate, and it's him, the, cool guy that he is.
I was thinking about too, because he's got to go back with the proof that he took that bath. And I'm curious if Bo's going to go with him. And then like the armorer is not going to believe him or something. I want to see a confrontation between Bo and the armorer, because Din Djarin's kind of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. He's not as wise to all this stuff as the other two are. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to ask the armorer, what do you know about Bo-Katan? But it's like those two that are more in the game.
He's naive.
That's the word I was looking for, naive. Yeah, I want to see those two really go head to head. You know what I mean? Like, he's my kid. No, he's mine. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like the...
No, here's the question. Did the armorer set him up? Was that a trap?
I don't think so, because I think she could have manipulated him to just give her the dark saber. I don't know. It doesn't seem like to send him to die doesn't seem like in her interest. But she was very cold to him, so she's still about that removing your helmet thing. I don't think she set him up.
I don't know, him getting there and that helmet being where it was and grabbing it. I mean, it could have been the monster setting the trap, but I don't know. Like I from the beginning, the armor is I don't know what exactly is up to. Like, I don't know if it's to get the sword, but it seems like I feel like she's gonna stab Mando back somehow.
Bob,
I feel like that's coming.
Bobby, that's the big part. Do you know what that monster was? That was the mythosaur. Okay? Do you remember the armorer said the legend of somebody riding the mythosaur?
I thought that was the thing where Boba rode the...
No, that was a theory I had. I thought that was like the like kind of like...
So that was
the actual mythosaur. I sent you a picture, Bob. Did you get that picture I sent you?
Oh, yeah.
That's the symbol that the Mandalorians have on them. That's like their creature, which I don't think Bo-Katan probably even believed that thing existed. So that's why that thing's a game changer. Just the sighting of the mythosaur is a big
I didn't
deal.
catch all that.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
so there's truth to so there's some truth to the lore. So that with the whole inspiring thing,
Yeah.
that sort of goes with that.
That's why I want to see the confrontation, like when he goes back, like, oh, I have no proof, but I saw the mythosaur. She was with me, and it's like, and even Bo-Katan's be like, yeah, and Bo-Katan probably never even believed in the mythosaur. You know what I mean? Or thought it was a, but no, that thing was straight up chilling down there. It was like, yeah, when you watch it again, because I watched it again before the show, and I'm like, wow, it looks like the symbol. You know what I mean? It's like this crazy.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about the thing in the water.
Yes.
Not the thing. Okay, the thing in the water. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my next question. Was what was the significant? They ended the episode on that, and I was like, I feel there's significance to this, or was it just a close call? Like there has to be something. Wouldn't it just ended with a random close call? Like, oh, this animal almost got him.
No.
Because there's animals. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
So now because that was on my list of questions for you. Like, why'd they end it like that?
Yeah, and I'm curious if Din even saw it. You know what I mean? And holy shit, Bob, I got another one for you. Just popped to my head. What if Grogu rides the frickin' mythosaur? Because he is a Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Because remember what he did with the Rancor? Grogu gets down with the big.
They're setting it up.
Yeah.
To where he could. Wow. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Did we see if there's something he could hold on to on there?
Yeah, and he's been around a lightsaber. He's been around a lightsaber too. He could get that dark saber. That whole thing could change. You know what I mean? Then he is.
Wow, I thought about that.
Yeah, because
that would make sense. Someone's going to rule the Mandalorians. Mando has no desire to even. But you're thinking an average watcher is thinking like, oh, well, it's gonna have to be Mando. Like no, that could be the sort of twist.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a surprise ending, but that's that was
the thing for all that though. But he does ride the animal. I don't know that he's gonna rule at first.
Maybe I'm thinking long game.
If he rides the animal, and he's on the Then it's like, all right, give him the sword. He's a little young, but you hold on to this until he's ready.
And all the Mandalorians are just bringing him like eggs and to eat.
Yeah,
like it's all his kid does is eat. Like, are we gonna rebuild the planet? He's just eating frog eggs and stuff.
Yeah, look, that's our king. And right when they say that, he just like eats a frog.
Yeah, he throws up on the ground.
Oh, maybe we give him some time. Ugh.
Yeah, that was the big, and I know how you were into that. Like you like exploring that Mandalorian culture and stuff, and that's kind of like where this season seems to be going. Is like really digging into that. So,
and that would make it okay with because my thought when we didn't take him from Luke, but when Grogu left Luke and went with Mandalorian, I thought of that as a bad thing because Luke is the holy grail of Star Wars mentality. Yeah. Like, no, you don't not train with Luke. Like, have you seen the movies? That's the main guy. You got, he's the, except for that last, things took a little weird turn there. But that's the guy. You don't want to leave his side. But it's like, well, no, if he took Luke's training, and like you said, that was a good point how Luke was only with Obi-Wan for like a half a day, where, and he was with Yoda for a few days maybe. I wish they'd say how long, but he definitely was with Luke longer than anyone was with someone. So he probably learned a lot more Jedi stuff than Luke did, and that we know. So now it makes it not like, oh, he chose the wrong path. He could have went with the Force and been the chosen one, for the whatever. Mm-hmm. No, he's saving Mandalorians. He's taking that to the Mandalorians and bringing that to their culture. And you know what? Bo-Katan talking about Mandalorians and Jedis fighting side by side, sort of a little foreshadowing there. Get them together again.
That, and there's also the we're going back to Luke. What you were saying was I think Luke kind of learned to think outside the box a little bit, because Anakin's whole problem was attachment, right? But it was like possessiveness and stuff, like his desire to control. Yeah. That's what caused his downfall with the whole Padme thing. But also Luke had a little growing experience too, because Luke had attachments, but he was selfless and not selfish. Like, because he wanted to go leave to help Han and Leia, and Yoda and Ben are telling him not to do it. And he goes, if you go, and he goes, well, I have to go. But Luke did all the stuff they were telling. Yeah, Luke did everything that they told him not
and
to
that
do.
turned out to be the right thing. And that was the right thing. That's a good point.
Yeah, for his friends, for his father. So I think that's part of what Luke's thinking is like, maybe everything's not all black and white, which should be true. And I think Ahsoka's going to, whatever's happening behind the scenes, I'm sure Ahsoka's kind of telling him that too, because now he's getting more of a clearer picture of how things went down during the Clone Wars and Anakin and everything. So that might be, Ahsoka's still there to fill in the pieces that Luke doesn't know because Obi-Wan's gone. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that changes my whole thought on the whole Luke situation. I forgot that Luke was also told to stick around and he didn't. So there is an example of what Luke's doing being the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there could be a point where Luke still comes in and helps, or Luke maybe be part of Ahsoka's show or something, but depends how big the situation gets. You know what I mean? It might be shaping up to get pretty big, especially with Seeds of the Empire coming back, with Giancarlo Esposito. He's supposed to come back. Moff Gideon, things like that. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. How did Bo-Katan know that she could take her helmet off when she got to the planet?
Oh, because
she didn't think it was toxic.
Because she told the other droid, she was like, "Hey, download the whole schematic."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay, right.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was about to say that was you know who that R5 is?
No, but it looked very familiar.
It's because it's R5 and it's on Tatooine. When Luke bought R2 and 3PO, R5 comes out and something blows off his head, and he goes, "Uncle Owen, this droid's got a bad motivator." And he goes, "What are you trying to sell me?" But the R5's been hanging around, so he finally gets to go on his adventure.
Yeah,
so good for him. 40 years, he finally gets to do something.
Yeah, the thing blows up again. Like, fix that.
It was funny when he went black. I'd be funny if he just he just blew up and that was it. He's done. I never got my scene. They finally gave R5 something to do. But
he's got a show coming up next season.
Yeah, he's getting his own spinoff. He's R5 and Ahsoka. Great show, Bob. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you guys next week.
Perfect.
All right, later.